Welcome to this video, how to access some free GSB systems. It's not often you get something that's worthwhile for free, but this is actually systems that I do trade. And we've got an S&P system on the S&P 500 futures, day trading, and a NASDAQ system. These were simply the first systems that I'd built using Genetic System Builder. I've got one tick each side and $2.50 each side slippage and commission on this report. And on the ES, it is out of sample since April the 25th, 2017. Out of sample from here. And the NASDAQ, which is the same system, just different parameters, is out of sample since April the 29th, 2017. So that's the out of sample period there. Now, I will show you how to get the system first of all. Go to trademade.info/forum and you just need to register, which is free on the forum here. If you go to the default forum and you go to GSB exe file, download the latest version. We may have to wait for a minute for that to come down. There we go. Then we install. That's just doing an Avast virus check, which isn't visible because it's on the edge of my screen. That's now installing GSB. And that will launch GSB, but we don't actually need that for the free systems. We just use that to make systems. So now we go to our GSB folder, which has been put in Dropbox, GSB, and then Manager. We click on the script. That will install all the functions that we need, including the GSB systems. Now the next thing we need to do is create a custom session time, because we don't use the last 15 minutes of the data. So I've made a session time called 0830-1500. And if you call it that exact name when you open the chart, if you call it this name here, you won't get any errors and the session time will be correct. And this is based on exchange time. Regardless of the time your computer is set to, if you do this, all should be well. If you follow these next 4 screenshots, for those who aren't familiar with how to set up a custom time session, that will show you how to do this. So then you can just open up the workspace . Under Managers, TradeStation code, and open that workspace there, and then your systems will open up. There are also other free systems that come with GSB if you're a GSB purchaser. For example, today I uploaded a soybean system. That includes slippage and commission, and There's also a natural gas system. With a nice equity curve and some good metrics. There's also a crude oil system. But my hope is you'll see these systems and you'll think, I'd like to make my own systems. And that is quite simple in the fact that when you launched GSB, it gave you an option to run the standalone. And if you run the standalone with its current settings, you'll start to build some natural gas systems. So I'll leave that for a while and you'll start to see some systems populate in the unique systems grid. For more information on GSB, have a look at my YouTube channel, PPZWAG. And enjoy and play around with the product. It comes with a 14-day fully functional trial. So after 1 minute we got some systems, and I'm just going to pick a system I like. I would normally leave this running for much longer, but for example I'll choose this one here and I'll run a walk forward test and we'll see how the system survives after a walk forward test. We've now got 12 systems that have come up here. And you can see the progress of the walk forward test here. We can actually run numerous walk forward tests at the same time. But I was just waiting for some other systems that I like a bit better than what we've got here. Look, I'll run this one here. To be honest, I would be choosing better systems than this, but this is as good as you get for 2 minutes of CPU time. So when we go to the walk forward tab, we can see the systems are walk forwarding there. After 10 minutes, we've done a third of the first walk forward, and we're going to go to unique systems, and I'm going to look at some better systems. That one looks reasonable. I'm going to sort one by the most linear, one by the highest fitness, one by the highest profit factor, which looks like we've already done. That was not a good system looking at that, but that was the first because this section here is too flat for too long. But it was just the first system that we came up with after a minute. So if I look at this system here, that one there looks better. So I'll walk forward those. We've now finished the walk forwards and have 130 systems that have come up. The first system, it's actually significantly better than I thought. The final equity curve is still fairly flat here. The out of sample performance is actually high net profit and high drawdown. But what I don't like about the system is the fact that the parameters here have changed towards the end quite significantly. And if a system shows stability in parameters, that tends to be a sign that it's more likely to work out of sample. I'll go to the top one here, and you can see that the walk forward curve and the out of sample curve is nearly the same. The drawdown, however, is excessively high. The stability in parameters is exceptionally good. There's only one very minor variation from a 65 to a 66 there. So I quite like that system, apart from the fact that 11,000 drawdown is too high for me. It may reduce if we put a stop in, but I'll just go to the next system. In fact, when I look at why the drawdown is so high, I see that it's particularly high in 2008, which was global financial crisis time, and it would be no surprise to have high profits and high drawdown there, but regardless, I don't like that system because of the drawdown. This system here is a great looking system. Reasonable profit, only a $4,000 drawdown, good profit factor, reasonably linear curve, doesn't have a lot of flat spots. You can see 1 or 2 out of those 10 periods there. So this one here and this one here are a bit flat, but nothing too serious. This next system here, again, that's reasonable performance metrics. This system here, even lower drawdown, higher profit, and the curve looks like it makes money during all of the 10 walk forward periods. So I like that system there. Again, we can see that its parameters are exceptionally stable. Apart from a tiny variation of a 43 to a 45, since the very beginning the parameters haven't changed, which means it's locked on to the ideal parameters for the market that it's looking at and much more likely to go well out of sample. So that's a great system. This one here, I can see the parameter stability is 28, so I don't expect that to be so good. But it's proved me wrong as far as the curves are fairly parallel, but because the parameters are shifting a bit around the place, you can see from a 21 to a 29, a -2, -1.5. I don't like that system so much, but to me the clear one I like best is this one here. And to get that system in TradeStation, all I've got to do is right-click the system, go into my TradeStation, and I'll just call that system Demo 2. Then I'm going to insert that system in there. I already have a workspace set up for natural gas, so I'll do Demo 2, and I will remove that code. Make sure that you've got the bars back set to 500. And I'll just check there's slippage in commission on this. And there we have the system. The performance metrics are a little bit different because there wasn't slippage in commission on GSB, while there is a tick each side and $2.50 each side here. But you can see the equity curve is nice. You can certainly get better than this, but this was done, keep in mind, just after a few minutes of processing, and out of sample, which is not at all significant because it's very early, but it's had 3 trades here out of sample, the 430, the 160 and the $90. Hope you enjoy GSB, and you're welcome to get the free ES and NASDAQ system and have a play around with GSB to see if you find value in it, but I think it's an outstanding product and I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching the video.